Right, so we've primed the cork through, we've got it coming through to the gun. Now, like I said, this is a new gun we developed for Corkspray. It's not a gun that comes with the machine, it's an addition. Now, this gun is what we call a single trigger gun. So you've got a control of your air here, which is basically on, off, but also in between. So you've got a bit of regulation, so you can bring your air up and down at the gun end, which is quite useful because obviously the guy on the gun knows how he wants it sprayed. So he knows where he wants it, you know, what it wants to look like. Everyone sprays a little bit different. How I spray now would definitely be different to how Dan sprays. It'll also be different to how everyone else sprays. So there's no right or wrong way. As long as it's going on in the right sort of thickness, right application, there is different methods of doing things. So that's where the air adjustment can really help. Like I said, this is a trigger gun. So to operate the gun, we have to make sure the trigger's pulled at all times. It does have a stay in place, but just be careful that you don't leave that in place when the machine's not being controlled or not got someone looking after it. Okay? So I often, when I start spraying, I'll often start in a bucket so we know we've got the consistency coming through. And then we go straight up onto the wall. Because what you'll find is when you start with the trigger, it does give a little bit of a splurge. And that can give some inconsistencies on the wall. So I often start in a bucket and then go straight from the bucket up onto the wall. Or if you're on the outside of the house and you've got your windows protected, you can start on your window protection, then come across onto the wall. Yes, you're wasting a little bit of material, but it just means that you've got a little bit, you know, you've got that consistency going on the wall. You haven't got that initial splurge of the product. Okay, so we'll start in the bucket. So then you have to wait for the compressor, then builds up to where its cut-off pressure is, and that's where you go. Okay, so that's a very basic spray of it. Not bad for a... Yeah. Stop it. So the only thing I had there was, you noticed I was waiting in the bucket a little bit longer than what I normally would. That was just we were waiting for the material to come through. So again, another reason for starting in a bucket or starting away from your actual finished wall. So obviously the idea with cork now is you leave that to a spray finish. Same with other materials, but with cork, you leave that to a spray finish, so you can't get any further consistency from troweling afterwards or whatever. The idea is you leave it sprayed, reduces your labour time, increases your profit margin on jobs basically, because you're not having to go back over that now, as you would with like a render or similar, where you'd spray it on or you'd spray the base and you come back, then you spray the top, then you might put a trowel over the top. When you're spraying to cork, it's left to a spray finish.
That's the reason